Sky Sports coverage of the World Club Championship is in association with Foster's.
Can the Tigers sink their claws into the Reds in the World Club Championship? It's Perth against Castleford at the WACA in Western Australia, and Europe is hoping Stuart Raper's side can show the sort of gutsy form that's lifted them off the bottom of Super League. And after the results so far this weekend, it's something the European game can do with. Let's take a look at the scores so far. On Friday, Auckland Warriors were 70 points to 6 winners over St Helens. A brave performance from Oldham Bears, eventually losing 18-2 to the Adelaide Rams. On Saturday, Cronulla Sharks beat Warrington Wolves 44-0. And a result from earlier today, Hunter Mariners 32, Paris 0. Looks worse than it was, though, because Paris were right in it at half-time, trailing only 4 points to 0. Hello, Europe then, in need of a morale-boosting performance from Stuart Raper's Castleford team. And the Tigers have plenty of incentive because they're the only British team in their side of Pool B not to have beaten Perth in the tournament. Last time out at Weldon Road, Castleford went down battling 24-16 to Dean Lance's team. The Perth Reds go into the game boosted by the return of one of the so-called bad boys of the Australian game, Mark Geyer, and he'll be out to make an impact. The London Broncos Chief Executive Tony Ray joins us again this morning. And Tony, there's a lot for Castleford to play for in this one.
Very much so. They would dearly love to get through to the quarterfinals of this. They're a side that's really turned their form around lately. It's full credit to them that we're even talking about them being competitive in this game. And a lot to do with the defence. The defence has been fantastic and Stuart Raper's doing a fantastic job with them.
And they're up against a side that's had shaky form against the European sides.
Very much so. Perth, they're not a team of superstars. They're a team that just plug away. I think they'd like to show the tenacity that their coach Dean Lance did when he was playing the game. But their form just hasn't been good, Perth. There's obviously something missing within that, and I'm sure Castleford would like to capitalise on that today.
And Castleford have shown so far that they really have got the commitment, haven't they?
Very much so. That's the big thing for Stuart Raper since he's been there. They are putting in for him. They're really having a go. They're finding something that they couldn't find earlier in the season, so it's been fantastic.
Well, let's have a look at how the two sides turn up. The Perth side first, Matthew Geyer at full-back, Tristan Brady-Smith, Greg Fleming, Chris Ryan, John Wilshere, Sean Devine and the captain, Matthew Rodwell. The forwards, Corin Ridding, Matthew Fuller, Brett Green, Wayne Evans, Darren Higgins, Jared Miller. On the bench for the Reds, Mark Geyer, Peter Shields, Fred Sapatu, Damien Chapman and the coaches Dean Lance. And Mark Geyer back from suspension for the Perth Reds. He's a bit of a bad boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fiery character and he plays on it. He plays very emotionally. He needs to curtail that, I think, for the sake of Perth. They really do miss him when he's not there. It's good to see him on the bench. It's a particularly strong bench. Peter Shields can put a good game of rugby league together as well, and Damien Chapman can add a lot of creativity to the halves. So if anything goes wrong, Sean Devine, very versatile at stand-off, so they could put Chapman to there and move Devine around. So it's a well-balanced side. But
you were saying a moment ago that they're not a side of superstars.
They're not. They're definitely not. They've got some good players that play consistently well. I like the hooker Matthew Fuller, who's played particularly well for 3 or 4 years, been consistently a very good player for them. Be interesting to watch Wayne Evans, the young second rower that he's played for Australia's schoolboys a couple of years ago, and they've been slowly progressing him through their grades, and they'll be looking to him to play really well and build the pack around him with the future.
Well, let's have a look at the opposition, the Castleford Tigers, and they line up with Richard Gay at full-back, Chris Smith, Jason Roach, Adrian Vowles, Jason Critchley and old-timers combination at half-back. They won't thank me for saying that, but it's Graham Steadman and the captain, Mike Ford. The Tigers forwards, Nathan Sykes, Richard Russell, Richard McKell, Grant Anderson, Lee Harland and Brendan Tutor. And the substitutes, Dean Sampson, Jason Liddon, Jason Flowers and Danny Orr. The coach is Stuart Raper, and I think the strength for the Tigers, Tony, seems to be on the bench.
That's a good sign. That's a fantastic sign to think that they can, when the time does get tough, when the real difficult periods of the game are going to be the last 10, 15 minutes of each half, and they can turn to Samson. Liddon's a fantastic player, Flowers, and Danny Orr's been in good form. He's been great for them off the bench. So it's an encouraging side for Castleford. I'm sure they're going to be right in this one.
But what about that half-back combination, Mike Ford and Graham Steadman, both of them over 30?
Yeah, you hope they're like red wine. There's plenty of years there. They're a good vintage. Played some great big games together, and they're proving that they are a good combination. It's been no fluke that since they've been there, Castleford's been going particularly well. And in a big game like this, I'm sure that they'll be looking to those guys to get them around the paddock and keep a level head. And nothing to lose for the Tigers in this one? Very much so. They'll be enjoying their trip down below. They're performing very well. They've had a good build-up to this one. As you say, they've got nothing to lose, plenty to gain. If they can get away with a good win, they're a chance of going through to the quarterfinals. And it appears that they're starting to scrape their way away from relegation, so that would give them something to play for in terms of the end of the season. Well, let's see how they go. We can join our commentary team now at the WACA, Gary Freeman, Warren Boland, and on the sideline, the former Paris Saint-Germain coach, Peter Mulholland.
Brian Brett has the two teams ready to go. Let the game begin, he says. Perth booting it downfield, and Mike Ford collects it, gets it away to Anderson. He's met by some fast chasing downfield by Wayne Evans and Corin Ridding. Expected to be a very physical start from the Perth Reds. That's the way they like to play their football, to get up in their faces. Sean Devine called on to make the tackle on Harland, or Tudor it was. This is Harland now. Question of the lift, but they put him down gently. Darren Higgins was the man. Now Russell makes a short dash. Just short of the halfway on the 5th. Steadman puts the kick in behind the winger, and across comes Geyer. That guy brings it back quickly. But plenty of chasers down there, led by Smith. Ron Wilshire takes it towards centre field. Fuller dummy half. Ridding. Come up quickly at him. Nathan Sykes was in there.
That's good defence there by Castleford. They really set it themselves a goal. I think what Stuart Raper-Rotten will do, try and keep them within the 50, make sure they kick from there too.
Go down the blind side. Cut out pass goes to Evans. Takes it up towards the halfway. Rodwell hands it off to Ridding. He's getting heavily involved early on. He gets rid of a couple of tacklers. Good run by Ridding. Gets the pass away late. Miller with the ball. He was closed in. Couldn't get the pass behind the defence. Loses it now. Finally threw it back and it wasn't able to control it.
Cheers, lads. Hold it there.
You see there, Brian Grant just telling us, thanks very much, lads. Get yourself set for the scrum. A bit of a slight knock on there. Ball was going all over the place. Castleford now, Mike Ford feeds the scrum.
They've been feeding it out to Richard Gay, playing a fullback today. Jason Flowers, last week's fullback, on the bench. Go to the blind side, close to the touchline. Tudor plays it back. Now Edmund gets it to Sykes. Short of halfway. Ford first receiver. Now Harland wants to spin out of the tackle. Underneath him was Miller. Russell can't get away. On the last. Goes to Mike Ford with the kick. Puts it in behind Brady Smith. And finds touch 12 metres out. Solid set of 6.
Well, it's a set of 6 that they really did need, isn't it, mate? Because when we're up against a side like this, the Reds, if you give them too much ball, they will make you pay. And the thing that all the English sides have been doing is make sure they put the ball out, set down a scrum, slow the game down to their pace, which is not a bad ploy.
Talk about who's staying and who's going from the Reds. Apparently there are 15 players have been told that they will be remaining at the club, most of them on existing contracts. But a couple of guys who are even on contract have been told that they are not wanted next year. That includes Jeff Doyle and Barry John Mather. Players also told that they're not wanted are John Grieve, Greg Fleming and Sean Devine. And players told that they better perform today if they want another contract. Playing for a contract, Rod Walsh-Shields and Fred Sapatu. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, there is a lot of pressure, and you know, you really hear as a football player, you're paid on results. If they're not going to perform, or you know, he's got to make a decision, Dean Lance, either keep them or get rid of them. So he said, put the ball back in their court.
Sean Devine kicks downfield, well-judged kick, finds touch just 8 metres out. He kicked very well last week, and he's done it again here at the start of this game. Sean Devine in only his second starting match of the season. It is funny in a way, isn't it, to see him promoted into the first grade lineup, plays well, but in the same week to be told that he's not wanted next year.
Well, you just wonder what's going through the player's mind. You know, he's out there playing. He knows that he's only probably got, you know, 6 or 7 games left in the competition. You know, what does he do? Does he try and get there and perform to his maximum so some other club will pick him up? Hopefully, that is the idea. If that was me, that's what I'd be doing. So if you don't want me, I'll prove a point that you should be keeping me. And hopefully someone else will pick me up.
Seems very harsh on the part of the club to be sacking players in effect mid-season, but in a way they're really being generous to them, giving the chance now to sort out their futures for next year. That's Castleford on their own 20. Russell picks up McKell. Richard McKell. They're going the same way. Tutor. Good defence from Brady Smith. Steadman swings the long pass in the direction of Vowles. It's on the ground. Wiltshire is chasing it, and back goes Chris Smith.
It's one thing that Castleford will do. They will promote the ball.
Let's get some football out of this.
Now, Matt Geyer. Referee Brian Grant saying, let's get some football out of this. Here's Geyer. Skipped away from one tackle. 10 short of halfway. They've got a whole set up their sleeve. There was 6 more. Now Brady Smith stepping well.
So if Castleford don't get back with the referee, we'll have to start penalising them.
Castleford making the tackles count when they get hold of them, driving them into the ground. It was Sykes again. Here's Higgins.
That's a great tackle. Grant Anderson there coming over the top. That was a tremendous tackle.
Rodwell puts the kick down the right side again, and in an identical position to the spot that Devine found a moment back. It's Rodwell putting them out over the
There's
sideline.
this tackle here on Higgins. Look at that. That is a great front on tackle. Plenty of help there too. The other players involved. But the big fella there, Anderson, coming over the top, really stopped him in his tracks in a big hurry. Still in the back of the field there. Higgins is getting some attention from one of the trainers, so that tackle did hurt. Interesting to see when Coach Lance will decide to bring on the big fella. He's been out for quite a long time. Does he inject him into the game early? Mark Geyer, that is. Does he leave him on the bench for another 10 or 15 minutes?
When Mark Geyer came back from the 10-week suspension, from memory, he started the game, but he did say that he just couldn't go the pace. In fact, he partly blamed, I think, the fact that he went for a high tackle on the fact he was getting tired. And so today, they've decided to bring him off the bench. You have to remember, too, the fact that there's just the 4 replacements. Sorry, Peter?
Yeah, just on that with Mark Geyer, Warren, 95, he had a bit of a suspension too, and it's the same thing. He gets very tired very easily, and I tend to agree with Mark. I think it was just a lazy tackle on which he got that 3 weeks.
A bit unlucky. Here's Sykes standing, looking for support. It didn't arrive. Steadman slipped over as he was trying to get there. Now it's Steadman with the kick.
Get there, Johnny, get there!
Into the corner. They're going to have to collect it, or will they? Wiltshire, very cool. John Wiltshire, this young player who shows plenty of ability. Only 19.
Well, that's the big thing that was missing last week when they played the Hunter Castleford, was their kicking game. Before the game, I did say Graham Steadman would take over it and put themselves in a better position around the field, which he is doing today.
Graham Steadman has played 10 tests, included in that memorable Great Britain victory over Australia in Melbourne in 1992. Had a stint at the Gold Coast, played some useful football there.
What about that tackle? I don't think I'll be running on Brett Rodwell again.
McKell and Anderson, they were the 2 blokes who were in the earlier tackle that you were commenting on as well.
That's one place I wouldn't be running.
Grayer's trying to go through the forwards. He's knocked over. Now it goes to Devine. Puts it up higher this time and a little deeper. Back goes Gay. It stands up. He'll have to bring it out. Turned out to be a great kick. And Gay muscled the ground 10 metres out from his own line.
He's done an excellent job there, hasn't he, Gay? Getting out there, made an extra 10 metres, caught the ball in goal, managed to get out. Terrific effort.
Interesting to note both sides are employing that onside kick too. And Castleford are very impressive with their kick chase at the moment.
Sykes, but Ridding's got hold of him. Ridding was the marker and he moved quickly to his left and collared him. Tuta. Brendan Tuta admits he's not quite as fast as he once was, but he's still pretty mobile there. Now McKell leads with the shoulder, trying to bust the tackle. Forward under a bit of pressure from Ryan. He goes to Stedman. Straight down the throat of Wiltshire, though. Adrian Vowles has got hold of him. Vowles, who was very disappointed when he was cut by Tim Sheens from North Queensland. He was the Cowboys captain last year. Look at Brady Smith take off. Very quick. In the centres that time with Chris Ryan outside him. Now Evans. Fuller on the angle. It's Ridding. Jared Miller. They were coming in numbers too. Brady Smith was backing up. Devine looking for Higgins. It's off his chest and forward.
Red and white. Matt, if you want to stand in front of me. Mr. Stedman. Blood bin, certainly. Yes, bring him out. Blood bin out here, Steve.
Just going to the line there, just putting the ball in behind. It's a play that the Reds always come up with, trying to get the extra man on the outside there and trying to put Wiltshire away. If the pass could have stuck with Higgins, we're coming up with a knock on. Referee saying to Stedman, please stay on side. We said earlier, a couple of guys are starting to creep in front of the referee.
Come out as well with this man. He's got a nice old cut under the jaw.
Jason Flowers is just going on now for Jason Roach for Castleford with a blood bin, and I think Darren Higgins is on his way off, and here comes MG.
And the cheers go up for Mark Geyer. Speak of MG, a picture in this morning's newspaper over here showing the two Geyer brothers with young Matt having just bought himself an MG.
What if Mark drives it though?
I don't think he can get those long legs in there. Forward. Hands it off to Jason Flowers. Russell to Tuta.
Let him go. Let him go.
Right forward to Sykes. They're running the angles, trying to...
It's a little bit of a cut there. Chinny chin chin. He'll be back up and the doctor stitches him up.
It goes from forward across field and too far across. Way out.
These are the mistakes that they can't afford to make against any side that you play in rugby league. Doesn't matter whether you're in Australia or over in England. You've got to get a good kick and get a good chase and put them under pressure. There's no pressure whatsoever. There's plenty of scope to kick the ball in. Should have gone towards the post.
Evans on his outside, the outside of his man, finds Miller coming around him. Now Mark Geyer, straight ahead he goes, and he runs into Brendan Tuta. As usual, takes a lot to put him down.
Two of the quieter players on the field. Brendan Tuta and Mark Geyer.
Geyer appealed for a penalty for not being released. Fleming picks up the bouncing ball. Matt Geyer. Rubbers through. Some pressure on the fullback. Oh, well taken. But what about the tackle from Wiltshire? He hit Flowers hard. Flowers has dropped back to fullback since coming on. Good run up the middle by Harlan. Finds support. Smith was following. Out Sykes.
There's that tackle again. The little kick put through by Matthew Geyer. What's that hit there? Oh,
well, there was contact with the head.
I don't think there was anything meant in that tackle there by Wiltshire. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah, not intentional, but well, you might have put him in Disneyland momentarily. Here's Stedman running it. Oh, the pass to Critchley was always risky. Too hard and too low. It had been a good pass, fair enough. Critchley may well have split them. Rodwell. Tackled by Anderson. Oren Ridding throws the dummy, full tutor. Fuller. Rodwell goes to the line to Geyer, tries to fend off Sykes.
Castleford side really are struggling to get back on side now. Brian Grant has been very lenient the last 2 tackles.
Brett Green stepping off his right foot, had his arm cocked ready to pass inside for Ridding. Now it's Rodwell to Geyer. The space is opening up. Geyer hoping that there would be someone backing up, coming through the hole, through the pass. It was hopeful. He's probably entitled to think that there may have been someone coming.
I think what you'll find is when Mark Guy's gone through here, Brett Rodwell does a good job there, sucks in the defence, and Mark Guy knew that Miller was coming, but it's just a fraction too late.
Opening him up on the inside.
The crowd would have gone wild if Mark had gone home and scored himself.
Mark Guy's 6th game of the season, so the Reds not really getting value for money. I'm sure Guy would like to have been out there a lot more often than he has been. Started the season with an injury. The judiciary. McKell. Underneath him went Devine. Evans over the top. Steadman. Coming through on him was Miller. And put down. Geyer with a lapse of concentration. Matt Geyer.
I was just going to give Matt Guy a bit of a rap there because he put himself in a great position to receive that kick off Steadman. See, Steadman looks up there and sees where the big opening, and Guy does a good job of getting across the field, covered about 15 metres to his left. And you see just a lack of concentration there, comes up with a mistake that Castle would have been looking for.
Both of those blood bins have just been reversed. Higgins is back on for Geyer, and Flowers is back on, and Wayne Evans just coming off now.
You pay for mistakes by a fullback like that, don't you? you get 40 metres plus 6 more tackles.
And no rest for MG. He's back on again for a blood bin.
Well, he got to the sideline, Mark Guy, and he had to turn around and come back. A golden opportunity here for the Castleford Tigers. Tutor to Steadman. They're 25 metres out. They've got 5 more tackles. Couldn't ask for a better chance in attack. Gay, back to Ford. Like Ford, scheming, but never the quickest halfback in the world. McKell fights his way, almost free to get the pass back. Ridding and Green, the tacklers. Tutor to Vowles. Fires it out in the direction of Critchley, but he couldn't handle it.
Just wonder what's really going through the Castleford's mind there, the players. I know they've gone wide there, but realistically, there was no chance of going around anybody whatsoever. I think their big forwards are doing the right job there, and McCall and Sykes, but they've got to go forward first before they go wide.
No space at all to work with there.
There was none whatsoever.
Wasted chance for Castleford. Now it's the Reds' turn at their own end of the field. Fleming. Can't break away from Vowles. Some confusion. Finally, Brady Smith is the one who gets the ball. Higgins goes one way, and Miller goes the other. Wayne Evans doesn't look too good. The blood bin. We've already had a few trips to the blood bin. Fuller found himself behind Guy. Lucky not to give away a shepherd. Poor set of 6 so far from the Reds. It hasn't been the direction in it. The kick is better. Some pressure on the far side for Roach. Took it well in the end. Gets it back to Richard Gay. Mason Roach came off the bench last week. Today he's on the wing. Named in the centres, but playing on the right wing is Grant Anderson, the former centre.
Well, he's dropped the ball there, has Anderson. Should have been a scrum.
Tutor making good ground every time he has a run. That time he crabbed a little sideways. Sykes gets it up straight.
Anderson gets thrown on the ground here. There, he puts the ball on the ground and lets it go. That is a dead set knock on.
Harland crashes to ground just short of halfway. Gay all alone, nobody really calling for the ball. It's the 5th. Goes to Steadman, loses his footing, still has time to get up. One of the chasers weren't on him as soon as he slipped. Good kick too, after slipping, to Wilshere. Bring it out from his own goal line. Plenty of chases there. There's no points on the board. We've had 19 minutes of play, and Castleford are giving as good as they're taking. Here's Brady Smith, trying to get outside Critchley, but he goes with him, pace for pace.
I just wonder where's... Oh, now that's just a fraction high, I'd say. The player knows he's given himself up as Critchley.
Chris Ryan is down.
He goes over the top here with a big swinging up, right on the old jaw. Then, I don't think there's anything really intentional. He's sort of lined him up to go over the top, and he's got him as he's brought his arm up over the top as Chris Ryan was going down forward.
I agree with you that I don't think it was intentional, but if he went before a judiciary, he could easily get 4 weeks for that, because that hit him flush on the jaw with a swinging arm.
Well, put it this way, if that was Mark Guy, he wouldn't be out there now.
Good point. What did you think of it, Peter?
Yeah, just looking at it, I mean, I think in Australia, under the circumstances, you know, Super League, I think that would have been a suspension, quite honestly. And like you say, probably the culprit is the different people, different stuff. Mark Guy's just come back off now. Wayne Evans is back on, and Rhino looks like he's heading off to the bin as well.
Get the Red Cross down here and made a few collections today.
It's Damien Chapman that's going on to replace Chris Ryan, so I'll probably just reshuffle the back line, I'd imagine.
World Club Challenge being played under the 4 reserves, 6 substitutions rule, but with blood bins, there's a few blokes being able to get a rest of one form or another. Probably would rather it was in different circumstances. Probably helps out the coaches. Ridding from the tap. And Ridding is pushing away from one of the Tigers. Off the ball as Green hits it up. Evans knocked over, 35 out. Higgins, one of the players who went to the blood bin, but he's come back strongly, charging up the blind side. Puts the headgear firmly on his head once more. Devine.
Yeah, well, Castleford are reading the attack pretty well here. Like, they knew the ball was maybe going behind, and they've all got a Mike Ford come up with a great tackle.
And the kick will roll dead. It looked like it'd go touch in goal, if not over the touch line on the right side of the corner post, but instead it just took the turn and went dead. A let-off for Castleford. Back to the 20 they come, and it's Sykes.
It's Matthew Rodwell going forward, puts a little kick in. I thought it was going to pull up myself here. Guy's done a good job, just lets go to the top. The only one really chasing through was Chapman, the new man that's come on the field. He's playing on the wing.
Adrian Vowles, wearing number 6, playing in the centres. Started the season thinking that he would play in the 5/8 role, but Graham Steadman's there now. And last week they had Brad Davis, who I thought played quite well in that position. He's actually out with a minor injury this week. Steadman off the left boot, down to Geyer. Sun breaks through, and Wilshere, I was about to say positions himself well, but the defence didn't position itself well.
It's good, though, the players like the young kid Wilshere there. He did well, I thought, got in between a couple of players and made half a gap.
Ridding slips a nice short pass to Miller. Nothing special about it, but it was better than an ordinary old hitter. As Rodwell gets a lovely pass away. Evans gets it back to Green. Green still going well. Great work initially, though, by Evans. Now it's Chapman. He's quick out of dummy half, but loses his footing. They can smell a try here. They're 8 metres out, the Reds, looking for the first points of the match. Out it goes to Rodwell.
They've gone the wrong way, Warren. Only had 2 men, Rodwell and the winger.
Evans was well and truly covered out there. Now it's the last tackle. It goes to Devine. His kick. Yeah, he's still got it. It's come back. And Devine has somehow collected the kick as it rebounded off the England players. For a minute, it looked like the ball up the jumper because the ball seemed to disappear. But it's come straight back to the kicker, Sean Devine. And Perth are on the board. It's 4-0 to the Reds.
Yeah, this is the bus there by Rodwell. Throws a great little ball there. Puts Evans through. And that was the man there that really set the stride. Tell you what, they did pretty well there, the fullback and Gay. Big greedy. He's going as fast as he can, the big front rower. And Chapman goes to the line. You see him. He goes to the line here, puts a little kick in. That's Divine, I should say. Comes off one of the Castleford players. I think it might have been Brendan Tudor. Bounces back in his hands. That's a try. Very unusual one at that.
I wonder if he even knew he had the ball for a minute there. Let's have a close look at it this time.
Yeah, it just comes off Brendan Tudor, bounces back in his hands. I don't think about that. The Castleford players really didn't actually play at the ball. So that if they dropped the ball there, it would have been their first tackle.
Stuart Raper, the coach of Castleford, a little disappointed. A little bit of bad luck going against them. Sean Devine scores a try this week to follow on from one last week. Showing that he certainly can play football, and it's been a bonus that he's kicking goals. Performed well with a boot last week also. 9 last week, 67%. This is right in front. Just about getting up to 70% or so. Peter, this try, Castleford pretty unlucky.
Yeah, he's Sean Devine. Look, he just is a freak. Sean's got great hands, no matter where he is in the park. He can play fullback and 5'8" halfback, and he's going to tell you that he practices that at training. He doesn't, but he has got good reflexes and good hands, and he's rewarded just with a bit of persistence there.
It was Mike Ford fell over, and that was virtually the hole through which Devine ran. Kick finds touch. Nice way to restart.
It took a little bit of a nasty turn there against Nathan Sykes, who's waiting for the ball to bounce up, and just hits the field and did a big spin left and left him in no man's land. He adds a new dimension to his team, doesn't he, Mark Geyer? When he's on the field, he's a bloke who can lift his side if they're in a lot of trouble and really turn his side around.
I just think he has that touch of confidence and unpredictability and ability that other players don't have. Not that he's had a dramatic effect on the game so far. He's coming over the top of the Devine tackle. Sykes is working hard, but Mark Geyer that time moved very quickly from Markinamaker. Now McKell slips it back. Two players having trouble with their footing. Ward plays it now. Stedman. He runs into Geyer. They'll cut the play breaking down. Where are the forwards? Where are the men hitting it up? They had Sykes in the first tackle, but since then they seem to be going anywhere. Now a kick for the second time from Ford out on the full. That is a hopeless set of 6.
Well, that is terrible. Stuart Raper will be absolutely fuming with that. This kick here was an absolute waste of time. I think what they've got to do is set themselves a goal and get one of their players, the Castleford forwards, to play the ball a lot quicker and give their kicker some time, because the Reds are just flying up and out of the line and putting pressure on them.
Now this is a crucial stage right now. Perth have got 6 points on the board. They've had 26 minutes of play. Castleford have been hanging in there quite strongly till now, but right at this moment, they really have to buckle down in defence. Otherwise, Perth will really get their tails up. Devine out to Fleming, stepping off the right foot, well tackled. Underneath him was Richard Russell. Now it's Rodwell, 10 metres out. He gives it away to Brady Smith. He's hooked from behind by Vowles. Desperate and necessary tackle. Up it goes now from Geyer. Close to the post, here's trouble. Up goes Mark Geyer. And it's going to be a try by the Geyer brothers. Or will it be?
Let's have a look also at whether he was onside or not, man.
Matt Geyer put the kick up. Mark Geyer scored.
41. So just have a look at him in the play as well, please.
Scored what I think is a try.
Mike, we're going to have a look at it.
Watch this beautiful hands here by Rodwell. Look at that between the legs. Matt Geyer puts the ball up.
Were they onside?
Oh, I think Mark Geyer is onside. And the referee say about 41, being Jared Miller, and he might be the man who is offside. There's no way that I think that big Mark Geyer was offside. He seems pretty happy about it too.
He's got it down okay, you would think. Were they onside? You won't be able to tell from that angle. If any one of those players comes within 10 metres, he's offside.
I think you'll find that Jared Miller may have been in front of the kicker, number 41. Warren, I think that's where it might be coming from.
They may want to have one more look at the wide angle, or has the video ref seen enough? Video ref Ian Parnaby today. All right, did he hang on to it?
Yep. Certainly did.
Plenty to look at on there. It looked pretty straightforward initially, didn't it? Shows you the value of having the video referee. But which way is he going to go? Here comes the decision. What's Ian Parnaby decided? Try to the Perth Reds, to Mark Geyer off the boot of his brother Matty. Big Mark Geyer, who's 29 years old, and buy his 21-year-old brother a beer tonight. Let's have one more look. Are they all onside? I think they are. Just, as you say, maybe just from the far left-hand side. Jared Miller may have been closer, Corin Ridding and Jared Miller, but he couldn't really say for sure.
Even if they were offside, I know you're not supposed to be in the 10 metres. They had nothing to do with the play whatsoever. They haven't really gone into the help with catching the ball or knocking the ball back, whatever the case may be. Mark Guy's done it all himself.
Yeah, but technically, once you come within the 10 metres, yeah.
And he could have been a yard.
It should never have got to that stage, boys, because that was just a lousy kick from Mike Ford early on that put the pressure back on Castleford. They could have been defending the red zone.
Their point too. So the kick is between the posts from Devine, 12-0 to Perth.
Just missed those great hands there by Rodwell, but Matthew Guy puts it up for Mark Guy to catch. Looks pretty easy from there. He holds on with one hand, and he gets some big hands over there. I thought he was just going to put it out with one hand, but got two hands on the ball. Stuart Raper not happy. He'll be a little bit disappointed now.
They put two kicks out on the full. That's really taken the sting out of everything they were doing.
Well, they're not really setting themselves for anything. They're taking the ball forward. Then on the last tackle, they're looking around and saying, well, someone come and help me. Someone kick the ball. I thought Graham Stephen would have controlled that a lot better than he has so far.
Maybe this is Stuart Raper's reply. He's put Dean Sampson on, the big number 10.
Jason Liddon's just warming up down here too, so I reckon the back row will be off in a moment.
Russell picks up McKell, one of the biggest men on the field. McKell, tall and powerfully built. Here's Sampson. He's not as tall, but he's pretty broad. Gets the pass away.
I'll tell you one thing that Mike Ford might want to try and do is a little chip kick, because Matthew Guy is probably 40 or 50 metres behind everybody.
Bedman's kick downfield to Matt Guy, 10 out from his own line. He called to Brady Smith to come with him, but forced to take the tackle. It's Tristan Brady Smith now. He's playing very well along with John Wilshire and Jared Miller. Young guys with Matthew Guy all coming through for Perth. Brett Green. He knows only one way, and that's straight ahead. Met by determined tackling that time in Anderson. Anderson and McKell again, they combine all the time, those two. They're going up alongside each other to nail them.
Like little brothers, aren't they? They're just the umbilical brothers. You go in, you go there, I'll go there with you.
There's Wade Evans trying to play it. Just on the halfway, it goes to Rodwell. He fires the kick into the corner, and that's a beauty that time from Matthew Rodwell. Well, that's one tick in the book for Rodwell, playing for a contract for next year.
He's been pretty happy with his game so far. His kicking game has been excellent. A lot better than the Castleford's kicking game. He gets the ball down nice and low, gets it rolling on end to end. Ends up about 5 metres out from the try line.
Peter, Matt Rodwell's always been a very good player, whether with Newcastle or now with Perth. I mean, what are the strengths and weaknesses of his game?
And Matt reads the game very well, Warren. He's, I think if there's one weakness in his game, I'd really like to see him, and we've spoken about it a lot in the past, he can run and have confidence in his own ability to run. Matty's quite an elusive runner, and he just needs to get that back in his game. I think perhaps it came after that knee reconstruction. He just needs that time and effort to get that running game going. He's got a great kicking game. He's a very skillful player.
Lots of clubs would like to have a guy on the paddock who can steer you around as he can. It makes a difference if he can make a break as well.
Yeah, that's probably one thing.
Bad pass here as McKell has thrown it back, and a Perth player in behind him. Evans has taken it, so immediate turnover, and away go the Reds. Devine gets it to Fleming. There's plenty of defence there all up over him. Vowles reading it well. Green pulled in the pass, was out in front of him a little low, did well. 15 metres out. Here come Perth again. Devine wraps around Rodwell. Throws the pass now to Evans, ripping through.
Holding the man back without the ball. We had a chat, didn't we? Wait up.
It was against
Holding
Critchley.
back without the football. We had a chat about that earlier. What are you doing, Sean? Take two. What happened to the Indians? Now who's scored?
Wayne Evans charged, hit the line well. He had support on his left.
Can't really see where the player's been. He's saying that he's got tackled without the ball there, but geez, I thought he'd already gone past virtually. The referee is saying that he'd been having a chat to him throughout the game. It goes through here. Watch the. Oh, he's just holding the player right back there. It was Chris Ryan, and he's the one who's blowing up, saying I was coming inside to try and get that ball.
Maybe 2 points. It could have been 4. Maybe it's simply fitness, you know, as much as you tend to think it's ability sometimes, but as the half wears on, you start to run out of gas. You're not quite in defensive position as early as you want to be. You don't read the play and react as quickly as you want to. In the last 5 minutes, all of a sudden, we started going backwards, whereas for the first 20, they were very competitive.
Warren Dean Lance is using Mark Guy well at the moment. Peter Shields is on for him now, and he's not allowing G to get tired in any way, and I think it's a great way to bring him back in after his time off the park.
Sean Devine shooting for the penalty. The flags are up. It's 14 points to 0 to the Perth Reds over Castleford. 7 minutes till the half-time break.
There is the big fella having another little bit of a rest. He scores a try, has a bit of a break, goes on for blokes in the blood bit. Damien Chapman just keeping the sun off his head there. Make sure he doesn't get too sunburned before he goes out, either at the halfback spot or the hooker spot.
Geyer restarts the play. Don't find touch as they did the last time. Here's Jason Liddon bringing it back. The kick going straight down towards the goal line this time. Roach. Rodwell, and he's helped out by Peter Shields. Another player playing for a contract, Peter Shields.
Yeah, one thing we'll notice is that in the half, there's Castleford spent around about 20-odd minutes or 25 minutes in their own half compared to Perth around about 10. That's a telling factor on the scoreboard at the same time, is that they're not getting away with a good kick and they're putting themselves under a lot of pressure.
Liddon running off a Sampson burst. Stedman, he stands deep. Shields has got a hand on that. Green juggles it back. It's play on. It's the Reds' ball. Pass comes back to Geyer from Rodwell. Sighted a little bit of an opening. Couldn't get inside those forwards though. It's a long way around, Dean Sampson. Comes over the top. Finish off this tackle of McKell. Now Green. The forward's doing the hard yakka now. First it was prop forward Ridding, now it's Green. 25 metres out, but the ball is slow. Devine wraps around Rodwell. Sampson may have touched that. Well, it's play on. And away go Castleford. The opening is there, and it's Graham Stedman racing away for the try, and they are not going to catch him. He's being shepherded by Roach. You'd almost give a penalty against Jason Roach there.
I wasn't too sure if he was going to tackle him.
That mark, right? I want to see whether there's a ricochet or whether he actually got a hand to it, man. Mike.
Dean Sampson knocked the pass down. I thought it did come forward off him. Let's have a look.
The ball, this is the run around Rodwell trying to get the ball back inside. Well, I don't know.
Maybe not, who knows? It may have been just that his arm was jolted and the pass went back. And Mike Ford picked it up.
That was a
Graham
forward
Stedman
pass.
Had 60 metres to run. He travelled pretty well for a 35-year-old.
Yeah, a lot quicker than I could ever travel. We just see this once again. Slows the pass inside here. Rodwell. Oh, he's come off his hand by accident.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hit his hand.
Mate, that's a ricochet. He's never played at that ball. He's never meant to knock that ball down.
But it's still a knock-on.
Still a knock-on, isn't it, though?
I don't know. It's a touchy one.
That's where you go to the rule book and check, but I'm pretty sure that's classified as a knock-on.
That's probably why I was a coach.
Look at Jason Roach here in the headband in centre field. He comes and gets in between Wilshere chasing just to make sure he can't make the tackle.
Well, at the age of 35, that's what you do need. And it does look like it has come off Sampson there. A little bit unlucky here for Castleford.
They're all coming back towards halfway. I think they know that it's not going to be a try. Ian Parnaby once again will give us a decision, and we'll all know exactly what the rule is.
That's what it means going through the rule book now.
No try. Yeah, it was a knock on by Sampson.
That's why Peter said he's a coach, not a referee.
Thanks, Wiz.
Because the coaches, you would have given that try just for effort.
I'm just watching Pearl Stewie Raper go through it down here. I certainly would have given the try, but yeah, I don't think he deliberately played at that ball.
So we have the scrum.
Good refereeing by Brian Grant to check it. Must have been unsighted, and obviously couldn't hold play up. He had to let them go down the field.
Yeah, that was a good decision, Bob, because he let the whole thing flow, score the try, and then say, hold on, there could be something wrong there. Please have a look at that, and they'll come up with the right result.
Away go the Reds with Fleming. Halfway through the tackle, gets it to Wilshere. Lovely pass away to Geyer. And Geyer's in for the try. And Wilshere did that last week as well. Got a pass away to Rodwell last week, which led to a try, flicking it out the back with the arm at the angle. And that's great skills by him. And again, it's good football by the Reds to have a man coming around down the line to get outside the winger. Good try.
Oh, it's great work here by Fleming. He gets outside his man. Bit of a poor tackle to hit by the Castleford winger. But what about that inside ball, the old flick ball with the right hand? Matthew Geyer just backing up beautifully. Scores in the corner. So that's a pretty poor attempt to tackle. Was Chris Smith really come up with a mistake. Allowed Wilshere to get on the open and just give a little flick pass. Just backing up. He's pretty happy. Sprints back. I couldn't do that in my day. I was too tired. And
so he runs straight back to his winger, John Wilshere. He knows who was responsible for giving him that great pass. Second try. Last week he scored a try with a clean break from a scrum. This time, Mark Geyer, part of the team that's cheering him on.
That was great positioning from Matty Geyer on that occasion too. He kept himself alive and positioned himself beautifully. Obviously, he knows what Wilshere's going to do in that situation.
Similar last week, Matt Rodwell was involved in the play and doubled around. Had to travel some distance to do it, kept it alive and gave the pass for a try. It was very good reading of the play and enthusiasm it comes down to. Enthusiasm to get there.
Castleford players will be a little bit disappointed at that because they have played well. Something like around about 30-odd minutes. Struggled to get out of their own half and made too many errors.
They were only there because the try of theirs wasn't allowed. Here's Devine. And he's bringing it around nicely. That's a fine kick by Sean Devine. And he gives himself a high five. Peter, take a look at it.
He's going there now. Look, that's just great play from Matty Geyer. He's kept himself alive in the situation, aware of what was going on, and positioned himself beautifully. Pretty poor defence, though, as you said. Wilshere's been able to get outside his man, bring him back in. That's the end of that game. I mean, this kid's got plenty of talent. I don't think I've seen a better young potential winger for a while.
And Sean Devine kicked that goal. The old hands were going up in the air. I don't know if he's doing upside-down press-ups, but he was pretty happy with it.
John Wilshere was born in Papua New Guinea. He represented PNG in the Oceania Cup. Actually lived at Charters Towers in Queensland for a while before coming across to the Reds. He's only 19. He scored 15 tries in 13 games in the under-19, so he's got all the marks of a pretty good player.
I think Steve Rogers picked him up there last year at one of the carnivals, and you know, Sludge hasn't got a bad eye for a player, especially a young player like that.
12-point turnaround.
That's
for Castleford. Sure. They thought they'd scored, instead Perth did, and the scores got right away from them at 20-0. Pass comes back, desperate to keep it alive. Now Richard Gay, knocked over by Shields. Last tackle now. Stedman. His boot has been steady. In behind Wilshere. Just goes dead.
They're really at sixes and sevens when they come to their kicking game, aren't they? Like, there's no forward say, give me the ball. Brendan Tudor before that took the ball forward at 100 miles an hour, had a quick play ball, tried to get the ball out, and then they're all standing around there looking at each other. put their hands up and do some work, some of the Castleford forwards.
I think they just need to get a good set of 6 together with just 6 hit-ups and put a kick on the end of it so they know where they are. Here's a break now.
Shields has broken away. Back inside is Miller. He's always there backing up Jared Miller. He's playing well. Tackle comes from behind. It was Ford getting back onside, and he hit Tristan Brady-Smith hard from behind.
Well, Ford was the guy who came up with the missed tackle at the other end, sprinted down the line, which he didn't have to do, which allowed them to make that big long bust down the left-hand side of the field.
He sent Peter Shields galloping into space. Now here's Adrian Vowles, who hasn't seen much of the ball in this half. Well, he's been in very good form for Castleford. Sampson gets the pass away neatly to Harlan. Ford handballs it. It could be Chris Ryan's. No. Instead it goes to Jason Liddon. They're getting untidy, but they're keen to keep it alive just on half-time. Frustrating first half, I would think, for Castleford.
A frustrating first half and encouraging first half for the Castleford Tigers. They really stuck in there for the first 20 minutes, but then a cruel bounce let Perth Reds in. They're in control at half-time. We'll look back on the opening 40 minutes after the break.
Wembley is preparing. The fans are ready. The waiting is over.
He absolutely drills it.
It's Manchester United.
Oh! Roberto Di Matteo!
Versus Chelsea in the FA Charity Shield, the curtain raiser for the new football season. Premiership champions.
Their 4th title in 5 years.
Against FA Cup holders.
It's Chelsea's FA Cup.
Ford Football Special, next Sunday at 2:30. Just part of a great weekend's football live on Sky Sports.
The manager continues to enjoy the complete confidence of the City Ball.
When circumstances change, Rover commitment comes into play, because only with Rover dealers, if you return your new Rover within 30 days or 1,000 miles, you can have a full refund. Or alternatively,
One more shot.
you can swap it
Listen, you must be my boy. It's a strike here, mate.
for something more suitable.
Just about to go to bed, but first I want to show you this rocket that I've been making. But it's not finished yet because there's one thing missing. It's the nose cone, which is going to be a washing up liquid bottle. My mum's washing up liquid lasts forever. Well, my friend lives next door and his rocket is finished ages ago. And my one is still not finished now.
Fairy's richer, longer-lasting suds mean a bottle really does last days longer than any other liquid.
Well, there's still loads left.
Fairy really lasts loads and loads longer than anything else.
3, 2, 1, we have liftoff!
Something rather French is happening in California. Supervised by one of France's most experienced winemakers, grapes from the Napa Valley are being fermented and aged in the bottle in the Méthode Traditionnelle, resulting in a world-class sparkling wine, of which California and France can be truly proud. Cuvée Napa, Californian sparkling wine with a French accent.
So, the wedding's off.
Yes.
I won't ask. Come and meet the rest of my guests. None of them are off to foreign parts.
We're off.
Where?
Got to lift.
Wonderful. Isn't this wonderful?
I could get used to it.
Oh, now it's a dinner party.
Nescafe Gold Blend. Rich, smooth, with a distinctive new shape.
You'll be home in 3 days. This is our last gold blend together. Here's to the wedding.
Half-time at the Wacker, Perth Reds 20, Castleford Tigers 0. The tries from Sean Devine, Mark Geyer and Matt Geyer, with Devine kicking 4 goals for the Reds. So Castleford Tigers can feel pretty hard done by after that opening 40 minutes. They stuck in for the first 20 and held it to a scoreless scoreline, but then had some rotten luck with the first Perth Reds try coming with a bit of a luck of the bounce, I think. Tony, what do you make to that?
Definitely lucky. I guess you make your own lunch. He was alert. Lunch. You do make your own lunch. You make your own luck. He was alert enough to take the ball when it did ricochet. So it was very bad luck from Castleford. They've defended very well. They've had 3 tries put on against them. All of them were a little bit hard for them to stop. As we see here, they're doing the right things. There's 2 blokes in there competing hard to stop the kick. It was great play from him, but unfortunately it ricochets the other way. And he gets away with a try. If anything, you'd have to say the inside defence should have been there to come across and pick up. If he threw an inside pass, you'd have to say the same result was going to be there. So if you're going to be critical, it'll be that, but it's very unlucky try to have against them.
And up until that point, Castleford had really stuck in there, hadn't they? They'd done well.
And they continued to. You know, all of the tries that they scored, Perth took some scoring. They really did. They flicked one out the back, and that was a fluke try as well.
Well, Tigers can also consider themselves very hard done by with a disallowed try from Graham Steadman. And what's your verdict on this one? Was it a knock-on?
Well, definitely not, in my opinion. Effectively, that's a charge down. He hasn't played at the ball. It's hit him accidentally. It's an accidental knock-on. It should have been play on. It was just a ricochet. And it showed clearly. The video referee had plenty of time to have a look at it. It was very cunning work there from Jason Roach, wasn't it? If we see it here, he's just making a tackle. He's swinging in. He's not swinging at the ball. He's not even looking at the ball, so he doesn't know where the ball is. He's just getting his shoulder ready to put a hit on. It's bounced off his hand accidentally, and I might stand corrected, but to me that's a charge down, effectively the same thing, and should have been play on, should have been a try to Castleford, and would have very much changed the course of this half.
And we were saying that they'd got old boys at half back, but it was Ford and Steadman who actually set up that try. Well, had it been given, it would have been a try. Great finish from Steadman. It's just a shame it wasn't allowed by the video ref Ian Parnaby.
The old legs hung in there, didn't they? They got into the line, and unfortunately it was for no result.
Well, now, just before we take a break and get back to the second half at the Wacker, don't forget our World Club Championship competition running until half-time during tonight's big game, London Broncos against Brisbane Broncos. And what a prize we're offering. Return tickets for 2 to Queensland, home of the North Queensland Cowboys and, of course, the Brisbane Broncos, plus a full 10 days of accommodation. The prize comes courtesy of Air New Zealand. And all you have to do to win is answer this question. Which famous former Queensland Rugby League star was nicknamed The King? Answers required on the following phone number, 0891 555 913. That's 0891 555 913. Calls cost 50 pence per minute and lines will be open until half-time in tonight's game. Good luck. Well, luck is a thing that the Castleford Tigers haven't had in the first half at the Wacker. A try from Sean Devine, putting Perth Reds ahead, but the Tigers have shown plenty of fighting spirit. Can they come back in the second half? Join us after the break.
This is where the fun starts.
I've got sore lips in the sun, no.
Tonight at 10, Ibiza Uncovered. A lads' night out.
Oi!
With one thing on their minds. How lucky will they get?
Go! That's it, a go again.
And desperate times
I need money.
mean desperate measures.
She does want it to be very erotic. I might do it for a night. I might try it out.
Ibiza Uncovered, an all-new series. Tonight at 10, Sky 1.
I'm knackered and I want me bed.
So how did it all go?
I'm afraid the board rejected your big idea.
What do you mean?
Calm down, John. They didn't like your idea. Better luck next time, mate. Something I said?
Thanks to its torsion beam suspension, the Rover 200 is the perfect car to unwind in.
I've had a better idea.
Let's see how this detergent holds up to the amazing cleaning power of Sprite. Not bad, but let's see the difference Sprite can make. There you have it. Sprite, lousy on stains, tough on thirst.
Name 3 things that are difficult.
Quantum physics, brain surgery, getting a loan. Actually, scrub that last one. Just ring Purple Loans on 0800 499 499. They don't want to know your life history. They don't want a reference from your boss. You can even be your own boss, as long as you own your own home and you can afford the repayments. They don't care if you used to cheat at Conkers. But if you want to borrow between £5,000 and £250,000, call them up. They might say yes, they might say no. Either way, they'll give you a straight answer. Interested? Call Purple Loans free on 0800 499 499. Simple as that.
More spots?
Yeah. I know washing's not enough, but...
Look, you don't have to bother with all this stuff. This is all you need for spots.
New Clearasil Complete?
Yes, the business. Quick and easy. I wash with it every day instead of soap.
Here, give us a go.
It comes complete with microbeads and a clinically proven spot ingredient that help unblock and clean your pores. So, it's 5 times better than ordinary soap at beating spots.
I feel really clean.
Use this every day and you'll feel really spotless.
So no more hard work?
Got it in one. New Clearasil Complete. It's all you need to help beat spots.
Yeah, but when he said, now, how did he put it?
Now you can get free BT phone calls at a supermarket.
I don't think the President agrees with him.
In a petrol station?
Hold on, I've got to pay the bill.
And anywhere, use your Barclay card. Because Sainsbury's, Texaco and Barclay card are just some of the companies to offer free BT phone calls. It's called BT Talk Time, so look out for it in your high street. Hello? It's good to talk, especially with BT Talk Time.
For centuries, the simple arrow has played its part in history, used with caution, fired with precision, unchanged by time. The Greeks competed with it, the Normans duelled with it, the Apache hunted with it. In 1997, the British have perfected it.
Join Sid Waddell at the WDC World Match Play. Starts Monday at 1 on Sky Sports 3.
Perth Reds go into the second half leading Castleford Tigers by 20 points to 0. But Stuart Raper's side have shown that they've got plenty of fighting spirit. They're not out of this one yet, so let's go back to the Wacker, rejoin the game. We'll join our commentary team, Gary Freeman, Warren Boland, and on the sideline, Peter Mulholland.
Teams back on the field, and referee Brian Grant, with Perth rapidly improving their World Club Challenge record. Looking good for a win here. Still plenty of work to do over the next 40 minutes. But after losing 2 out of 3 in the UK League, they're on track to make it 2 out of 2 here in front of their home crowd at the Wacker. It's the Castleford Tigers down by 20 points with all the work to do. Matt Fuller, tradesman-like performance in the first half at dummy half as always. Mid-season, Dean Lance started playing Damien Chapman at dummy half. I think Fuller got dropped to reserve grade, but he's back there and playing well lately.
One thing that Castleford would be disappointed in that first half is, number one, their kicking game was pretty atrocious in the end because they weren't getting anyone going forward to play the ball back quick to allow their kicker any time whatsoever. For the Reds, well, they're going along the right, and I think Matthew Rodwell's probably one of their best players so far.
Corin Redding running off Gaia. Returns the kickoff for the second half. Brady Smith. Now Fuller. He gives it to Shields, who straightens it up, but he's well hit and a solid tackle. Driving him there was Russell. And Peter Parr from the Perth Reds, this reserve grade coach, is with us. But Peter, Dean Lance, satisfied with that first half?
Yeah, reasonably satisfied with that. Very happy with our forward position. Seem to have played most of the game down their territory, and yeah, we're quite happy with the way things are going. He's asked them to lift their intensity to a touch, but yeah, we're quite happy.
You must be happy, especially with having something like 30 minutes in their half, and they're only been in your half for 10. But I think it's all come down to your kicking game with Brett Rodwell.
Yeah, look, our kicking game is something we've worked on in the last few weeks, and as I said, we're very happy with our field position. If we continue to dominate that, we're pretty confident we'll continue to dominate on the scoreboard. We're very. I didn't realise it was that much actually, and that's great for us.
Well, the young guys also, Evans, I think Miller, and I think young Fuller going back to that hooking position have been outstanding for us so far.
Yeah, look, Evans and Miller in particular on the fringe of the ruck, they're doing a lot of defence. Evans is leading the tackle count at the moment, but as I said, our young blokes in the last month have really come good for us, and we've got 5 or 6 out there, 22 or younger, which is great for us, and they're all sticking their hand up again.
OK, Peter, let's hope they can go on with it in the second half.
Let's hope so.
Peter Parr, the reserve grade coach from the Perth Reds. As
Peter Shields
put on a reasonable set of 6 there and fine touch at the end of it.
And stepping there, coming limping up there, but Peter Shields putting plenty of pressure on him, I should say. Coming right through, puts the kick in. Oh, there you go.
Saying at half-time, Wiz, that you think Graham Stebbins should run a little more himself.
Well, the only time we've seen him run with the balls when he scored the non-try, and he's got plenty of pace. He's got heaps of ability too. If he runs more, he's going to create a little bit of havoc for the opposition, and they're going to make a decision whether they tackle him or just let him run with the ball. I just think he's got to kick, get in front and kick, make sure he runs onside too.
And Shane Flanagan, assisting Stuart Raper from the Castleford Tigers, joins us. Shane, they were very competitive for the first 20, but just dropped off as it went on.
Yeah, I think it was more than a drop-off. There was a big edge there. Went straight into the sea. We've got to get ourselves out of it in this next half here. The boys are really disappointed in themselves, the performance they put up that last 20 of that first half. And Stuart doesn't, lose his cool a bit, but I think he was very close to losing in that first half with some of the decisions that were made. Perth have been the better side, but, the ball's not bouncing our way again. But, we're not putting it in that first half.
Shane, it's Wiz here, mate. The kicking game has really let you down badly, hasn't it?
Oh, 2 out in the full. And, other ones, my little daughter can kick a bit harder. We've really got to get our kicking game into order. We've got to get our go forward out of our half into order. Our defensively, we're not too bad. We're just not getting out of our own half. And our kicking game's absolutely terrible.
I just think was up here in the commentary box, we said Graham Steadman really has got to start running with the ball.
He's a great runner with the ball, Gary, as you probably know. He can step off both feet. He's very, very good, but he hasn't done it in this first half. We've had a word to him in half-time, and Stuart given him the platform we want to go to, and I think you'll see a better performance.
Shane, just quickly, you said Stuart Raper wasn't happy with a few decisions. Do you mean by the referee or by his own players, or both?
Both. Our players have taken the wrong option on a few occasions. Some of those decisions there, on one of those tries, we thought there was an offside play there. Obviously, our try was probably, looking at it, was probably a no try, but, we're not putting ourselves in the winning position at the moment, so we've got no one to blame.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Shane Flanagan from the Castleford Tigers. As the Reds go on the attack, 40 metres out, and hitting it on the burst was Devine. Well tackled by Vowles. Now Rodwell turns it back inside. Matt Geyer to Fuller. Trying to keep the ball alive at all costs, and Corin Redding breaks into the open spaces. He did it just a moment back, but lost the ball. This time, he's lost it again. Second time, a little while ago, Shields put him into space. This time away he goes once more.
What you watch is the fullback comes over the top and with his left arm knocks the ball out. I just wonder if that's play on when he's regathered the ball. Or he's saying he's not knocked out deliberate.
I'm not sure what he said.
I'm waiting for your answer there, Warren. Speak to me. Don't
I suppose it depends whether it went forward and whether the referee thought that he lost it forward or the other guy knocked it out. I've got to assume that he thought that Redding just lost it forward.
I think he said that Redding lost the ball forward.
I'm glad you didn't ask me for a refereeing decision because I've even wrecked up on the meteorology report. Yeah. It's a beautiful sunshiny afternoon.
You can put away your umbrella. Here's a penalty, though. The Castleford.
Hang on, just relax it. Mate, I've just turned to the 10. Wait. Hang on, I want to see if we've got a good look at it from this side. Have you got a real clear look?
The guy on the ground, this guy wouldn't get off him, The guy's had a few pushes and that, and this guy's got up with the knee and used the knee into the player.
Really drove it back or just pushed? Look, on a report, he's gone. He's gone. Way you go, Pete. Way you go.
Peter Shields is set off here.
You're off.
Lee Harlan is the man down on the ground for knees, use of the knee.
That's fine. Why not just relax now?
Well, that's a blow to the Reds. Let's take a look at it here. Harlan is dumped, and there's a bit of a scuffle.
Oh.
More of a kick than a knee.
Yeah, I don't know if he used his knee. I think he's gone and kicked him.
Castleford's first penalty of the game, and Shields is sent off.
It's not like Peter Shields really to lose his cool like that. He comes up with a very, very good, strong tackle with Miller. Just what you see here. Oh, well, I know he's got him in the wrong spot with the kick there, but I don't know if he should have been sent off for that, Warren.
Yeah, it's real touch and go, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you know, maybe he could have put him in the bin or penalised him and given him a stern talking to, or maybe he should have been sent off. I don't know. Once you start using the knees or kicking, it's pretty bad. You couldn't really argue with the send-off.
Oh, no.
Peter, what did you think?
Yeah, it's a hard one, mate. It's you know, it was obviously provoked, but yeah, you've got to start to wonder where the line's drawn on that one.
So the Reds are down to 12 men, and they're going to have to play the next 33 minutes that way. So Castleford, can they claw back 3 tries? Mike Ford has a dash down the blind. The ref going on the touch judge report. He didn't see it clearly, so it was the touch judge. In fact, both touch judges called in.
Oh, what a tackle. Chris Wrong.
There's a beauty on Val's. Tudor. Quick hands onto Roach. The kick goes up, and Guyan takes it on the full, so it's back out to the 20.
Freddie Zapata's on at the moment too.
Watch this thing of Brendan Tudor floating across the field, picking up Val's, and Chris Wright just comes in and smashes him. Nice low, drives in there with his shoulder. That's a tremendous hit.
That's the way to tackle, isn't it? Once you've made up your mind you're going to make the tackle, just go full bore for it.
That's what you wingers used to do, didn't they, Warren? Make up your mind and make a tackle. A tackle.
Full bore for it, the sideline, that is. And Freddie Zapata, who gets his first touch in this game. The local product. Trying to make a mark and get a run next year. Brett Green.
Roll off England, Grant.
Here's Evans. Scored 2 tries last week, Wayne Evans, and he's been close to another this week. Devine to Ryan. And the angle well pulled in. The pass was a little low, held onto it. On the last tackle, Devine up the blind side. Gets the kick through to Gay. Good chase there. They hurt him back to the blind. Here's trouble. Roach has to scamper back. And very nearly picked up there by Brady Smith.
Oh, the winger really did put himself in a position to receive the ball, put Gay under all sorts of pressure, and he put himself under pressure for trying to force the pass. The one player I can't wait to see come on is a young kid called Danny Orr. Usually plays hooker and is very, very fast around that ruck area. That's why this might need a bit of injection, the Castleford side.
Now they're getting the passes away as Lytton gives it to Vowles.
Come on, play the ruck.
That's better football. To run the Perth defence around. Smith back to Ford. Sights a little opening. Decides it's going to close. Tried to find some support. Evans got him. Now Stedman holds the pass up, gives it to Harlan. Back to Gay. On to Sampson. They're getting the passes away, but they're not going forward. Now Sampson gives it to Roach. Got the hands free. Jason Roach taken ball and all. Great tackle by Guyer. Matt Guyer did well at fullback. They keep it going well, Castleford. The kick ahead from Stedman. Guyer following through. Pressure on Fleming. Picked up by Roach. And is it a try? It is. A try to Jason Roach, the winger. Finds himself following the kick through in centre field. Stedman started it, but they made the most of the initial bust created by Sampson. They're on the board, the Tigers. It's 20-4 to Perth.
What about Sampson's pass here around the corner? Last week he was told off for doing things like this, but he gets a great ball around the back. What's that? Oh, that is tremendous work. Roach here, but what about this tackle by Guyer? Comes in and says, you're mine.
And Roach has done well. He's taken that tackle, got up and then scored the try.
Yeah, well, the ball's being flicked past back here to Stedman, who chips over. Then you can just see Roach get up off the ground there and follow the ball through. Bounces up beautifully for him. Well, that's a try, and he gives the old one-finger salute.
They thought they had no luck in the first half. They've had a little here as the bounce has gone very nicely past the fullback Geyer and then past Fleming, but great work by Stedman. That's skillful.
Well, that's the sort of stuff that his coach would want him to do. And the big thing about it is that, well, he's a little bit happier now. Bit of a smile on the old face there. He takes a little bit of pressure off him now.
The try is converted by Graham Stedman from right in front, so Castleford are on the board, clawing back, and they've got an extra man, Peter Mulholland.
Yeah, I think now they've just got to control the ball. That's what it's about. Because you've got 12 players against you. You play out your sets of 6, put your kicking game on it. And as Wiz said at half-time, Stedman now has got to start to use those feet. I'd be getting Danny Orr out there too to start to break the Reds up a little bit.
I think the big thing, though, Peter, is that they've got to go forward first. They try to go wide on this red side. What they'll do is just slide on in defence, and they'll just make no yardage whatsoever.
Exactly right, Wiz. And if they can hit it around the middle a bit with Orr and the pace he's got out of dummy half, well, I think they've got a chance to put another couple on the board. But, you know, I think the Reds are controlling the game fairly well. Don't worry about that.
Well, that's what they have to do. They have to maintain possession. Here's Fred Sapatu, bustling run. Strong in the upper body. And those thighs can pump out a metre or two as well. Buller to Evans. Got a good lead, Perth. They just need to be calm and work hard. Pass from Green was a little risky. One tackle to go. Fuller played it. Now Rodwell. And he pushes them back. Richard Gay. Oh, he doesn't touch it and it goes over the sideline. Well, he could have had a go at it, you'd think, and maybe got the extra tackle as he touched it. Off red.
He looked a little bit of amazement there, didn't he, Richard Gay? Yeah. That was very, very close. I don't know why he didn't just try and pick the ball up, and they would have had 7 tackles. Talking about that replacement, Peter.
Just on now, mate, yeah, he's coming on. I think it's a great move now to put him on and just break them up a little bit. It'll be interesting for the Reds fans to have a bit of a look at this kid too.
Well, you're saying he's going to come here next year?
There's some talk about it. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Stuart Raper has said that he doesn't want Perth talking to Danny Orr. He reckons there's enough Australians playing in England without pinching them from England to play in Australia.
Well, he's just had the ball taken up at the first time he's out of touch. He's come up with a mistake. He'll be too happy with that. He's got electrifying pace, this kid. Running up to the wrong bloke there. Sapatu, big Fred.
Interesting point on Sapatu, fellas. He's won 3 premierships with 3 different clubs in Perth in local competition since he's been here in '94, and he's really been a great player in the local competition.
Allegedly be something of a local hero as Devine wraps around, trying to link up inside the 10.
I'm not going to have my blokes talking to you all day. Yep.
Here's Sapatu. 3 men, put him on the ground. This will really lift the Reds if they can score here. Down to 12 men for most of the second half. Out it goes to Evans. Striding through, still going Wayne Evans. Great power. The pass comes back, but it's been lost. Dived on by Roach. It was unnecessary from Evans. They had plenty of tackles to go.
If the ball had bounced the other way, the Reds would have come up with a try. That's good positioning by Roach to get the ball, because they were under all sorts of pressure there when Evans made that big bustling run down the middle.
Brendan Tudor with the ball.
Here he goes. He takes 3 or 4 of the Castleford players with him. Richard Gaze comes in to help. Liddon's there. And then Roach just tries and pops the ball out and bounces the wrong way. It's Big Sanson now takes the ball forward.
The game is lifting in intensity. The Tigers know that they are half a chance. And they score the next try, and they'll really be back into it. Kick ahead from Gay, but it's well taken. Well read by Tristan Brady-Smith. And Matt Geyer.
That's the right decision to do, the little chip over just a little bit further. Really had them under a bit of pressure because they've only got the fullback and then they've only got 7 in the line.
Brady-Smith again. Plenty of talk out there. Sapatu.
This is football suicide out here. They've just got to listen to the referees telling them what to do, and they're just not responding to it.
The last thing they need is penalties against them.
And you can see them offside there. There's 4 There's 13 of them all offside. Oh, there's 12 of them, I should say. The fullback is about the only one that I was on time. But I was at the rugby union last night. 14.
Mark Guy's back on for Wayne Evans too after that last run of Evans. He got a knock in the mouth again. Renju's back on.
Player offside for Castleford was right in front of the post, right in front of the referee. His kick is right in front of the post, but it's 35 metres out. 20 points to 6, 14 the difference. Decide to go for 2 rather than 6.
Oh, that's a good tactic. That's just chewing up time now with 12 players. They've got a good lead on the board, and they're just going to chew it up and play, I think, a patience game.
A few moments back when we saw Richard Gay, the fullback, allow that ball to trickle over the sideline, and we thought he should have picked it up. I wonder if that's one of Castleford's tactics, to allow the ball to go over the sideline just to slow the whole game down. But there seemed to be plenty of advantage in picking it up and bringing it back, as you say, Wiz, with the 7 tackles.
Mate, I don't think it's advantage if you're the opposition, you're receiving the ball. You're better off having 7 tackles rather than 6. And I thought there was a prime example of there where he had to pick the ball up, run it infield, and then put the Reds under a little bit of pressure and get themselves out of problems in their own half. I disagree with. I just think they've got to.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that may be what their game plan is.
Well, kicking it out and slowing them down is good, but not yourself.
A few of those big forwards are struggling out there already. Don't worry, they weren't very healthy margin that first half either. Castleford.
And Devine's landed the goal. He kicks them low rather than getting them up into the air and giving them some height. Well, they're straight. That's the main thing. 22-6. A valuable 2 points. As Mark Geyer prowls on the field once more. 22-6, 16 points difference. 3 converted tries. Just beyond that gap, so 2 converted tries and a couple of goals. In a healthy position at the moment, the Reds, despite the fact that they're 1 man down, with Peter Shields sent off for use of the knee. Use of the leg, depending on how you viewed it. McKell crashes to ground. He's big, but he doesn't have the mobility.
Well, this is what Castleford have to do. They've just got to keep going forward. One off the ruck, they'll suck all the Perth players in around the ruck and then play them on the edges.
Sampson down just short of the halfway, or calling for a quick play. The ball appealing to the referee as Ford gives it away to Liddon. He runs into a brick wall. 5th tackle now. Big 10 metres called by the referee on the Reds. Steadman with the kick. Good chase coming down from Chris Smith. But the ball finds touch.
Oh, the kick's good again, but you know they're just not giving themselves any opportunity of getting the ball back. I think it'd be better, like Stuart Rappel sent a message out there, is get the ball in the air, make it hang there, get through, boys, and chase and put some pressure on. This way here, they get a nice 6 tackles, and they start from a scrum 10 metres out with their own try line.
First ball from the scrum. Don't want to make any mistakes here as Wilshire comes from the far wing. Now Devine. Makes a few metres up to the 20. Now it's Green. Miller. Pushed away from Tuta, but he was well and truly crunched by McKell, who stands over him. Miller grabbed his foot. Sapatu winds up. Plenty of vigour in the run. Got it back to Brady Smith somehow, and he opens him up. Tristan Brady Smith. Great footwork. Kicks ahead. Here come the chasers. It's Geyer, it's Ryan, but back there to save it is Roach. Good football all round.
That was great football there by Tristan Brady Smith. Great stepping off his feet. Good effort there by Roach to get back to and get that ball.
Superb footwork by Brady Smith. I mean, he just opened up a break and there was nothing on when he got the ball. Now some crunching defence, swarming defence from the Reds, pinning Castleford on their own line. Harlan tries to clear it away, and a good pass comes back to Orr following him. Could have got a penalty, or he tried for it as he went to ground a second time.
There's the big fella goes through. He's got 3 Castleford players on top of Liddon's there. Gets the ball back inside of Brady Smith there. Steps off his left, gets off his right. Looks like he's actually smiling this break. Good little kick. But Roach just had too much pace. Chris Ryan comes up with the tackle.
Meanwhile, a penalty against the Reds. Fleming called out.
What did I say to you?
Penalty given here for the big elbow. Greg Fleming a little bit upset there with the...
Without any lapse in concentration. That's a total lapse in concentration. He threw a couple in there, which is stupid. Fair dinkum.
Brett Rodwell.
Matty, anyway.
Did you actually throw some, Greg Fleming? I didn't believe Greg could do that. And the player there, Critchy, actually, he could have been penalised first for throwing the first punch.
Fleming threw 2 or 3. They weren't much as punches. They were slaps, but they were still bad enough to give away a penalty. And silly, really. He was only ever going to get in a strike for it.
Brendan Tudor's off, being replaced by Nathan Sykes at the moment.
Forward punch, Guy all over him like a big spider web.
What about that? He saw it go with Mike Ford, and the big fella just lined him up and said, come here.
But now Sykes has put it down, and you can bet that's partly due to the intimidation of Guy.
Certainly he was. Watching me, he sees it come across. Here he is. Crunch. Then he gets out of dummy half once again on this tackle. He chases out, and they come up with a mistake, the Castleford side.
Arms and legs, Mark Guy, and they all mean trouble for somebody, sometimes himself. Fleming broke through the line, put his body through. No one at home. Rodwell kicks it across to Sabata. There was no dummy half.
I think Greg Fleming could really be penalised for that for holding one of the Castleford players back.
Could have been. I didn't say it, but he could have been. Green.
Moving on the ball, Brian.
Perth playing with plenty of urgency. It comes out to Guy standing wide. He gives it to Wilson. He's put it down. Wilshere, one of the rare times making a mistake with the line wide open. Guy roaming out wide now.
Well, it's bad enough when he's around the ruck area trying to make tackles, but watch the great little short ball here. He sucks him right in there. That's a little bit unlucky there. Wilshere should have caught that ball. And then Big Mark says, well, here, come here, and I'll throw you over the sideline at the same time.
Good contest too. Wilshere 20 metres out. Had a little bit to do, but would have been a good chance to score. Castleford spending too much time down this end of the field. They haven't crossed the halfway for a while. Penalty against the Reds.
10 metres. Yeah, wait up. Blood bin where? Number 5 to the blood bin. Yeah, that's okay. 5 to the blood bin, Steve Carroll. You're entitled to replacement around the back, Mike. Good on you, man.
Well, the blood bin's been working overtime today.
A little bit of a break, but now they're starting to bleed again.
Go back in.
That's flowers on for Roach, so that eye keeps opening up, I think.
Forward to Stedman. Some cut-out passes to try and open it up for Flowers. Green climbs off him. Oh, a big tackle by Jared Miller. He raced up and jumped around the body of Haaland. Out Sykes. Got away from Sapatu, but he ran into Gaia. He puts him on his back to slow the play the ball down. Look out the back front. Or Stedman has to go back for it. Gets it to Orr now. Lost in the tackle. Danny Orr not having the happiest game so far.
I think he's just trying too hard. He's trying to run from dummy half at the wrong times. Here he is here. He's claiming that the ball does get stolen. Oh, and he's correct. They're Fuller there, just knocking out with the left hand.
Well, the referees and touch judges, they've got a million things to look at, but they just have to keep their eye right on that ball all the time as the player gets to his feet. Surprising the way footballers are cheats, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
Get away with whatever you can, whenever you can.
There's rules and then there's rules, Warren. You should know.
Rules are meant to be broken.
I never said that.
Gaia. That's really what it is, isn't it? They just make rules so that everybody knows what they can do and then what they can't do and try and get away with it.
Up with that weapon mark. Work with.
Here's Gaia. Up the middle he marches. Shovels a pass away to Brady Smith. He kept it alive inside. Just as well he may have gone under the touchline. Otherwise, it was Gaia inside. Matt Gaia taking the pass. Now they go wide. Rodwell kicks to Wilshere. It's gone way over him. Too far, too wide. It worked for them last week, that kick for Wilshere. Maybe they could have simply passed it.
I was just going to say that. They should have just passed the ball. They had them for numbers. This poor old winger was stuck out there by himself. It was the Castleford winger, Smith, and he was by his lonesome. Watch out here. One quick pass, bang there. Vowles is there, but that's it. I think the pass was probably the better option.
Yeah, Peter, Orthodox football would have done it.
Yeah, I think he made his mind up. He saw the arm up the referee on the 5th tackle, and that was it. And, you know, that sometimes is a problem some players face. They just won't change an option once they've got it in their head.
Adrian Vowles tries to turn the game around. It's a respectable score at the moment with 13 minutes left on the clock. 22-6 in favour of Perth. Perth battling on. Still down a man. Stedman or Harlan crunched by Sapatu. The enforcer, Fred Sapatu.
Fritz.
Here's Liddon, the ex-Wests, Penrith and Canterbury player, now with Castleford, where some Australian footballers go to die.
Oh, don't say that. He would be happy with that. He Liddo.
It is true. Not for all of them, by any means. Jason Liddon's been a very good player. Not today so much. He hasn't had a lot of involvement today.
I think the problem with the Castleford side, is that they've spent so much time in their own half. They really haven't had much opportunity of actually scoring tries because every time they get the ball, it's 90 metres out.
I've got to tell you, though, it's a different Castleford side to what started the season over there. Stuart Raper's done a great job. It's just a matter of getting the right pegs in the right holes now.
Yeah, well, they were no wins and 10 losses under coach John Joyner, and then Stewie Raper took over.
I don't think Stu's going to have much hair left after this game today.
Another frustrating penalty.
And that's what really is beating them. Just getting the play there for holding down too long. It was Gay.
Flopped really from Gay, wasn't the tackle was already completed.
There we have it.
Under
Wait for it, lads.
Stuart Raper. They've had 3 wins, a draw and 2 losses, so much better performance in recent weeks, and they've moved off the bottom of the ladder in the Euro League. Just ahead of Oldham. The job's still ahead to stay ahead and avoid relegation. Knocked on by Gaia. They were playing advantage. Castleford couldn't come up with the ball, so the referee will play the knock-on.
Yeah, just coming up there. He's just stuck the big right-hand mid out on the right-hand side. He knew the ball was knocked on. A little bit lucky. He did bounce up right there for Chris Smith, because if he caught that on the full, I don't think Wilshere would be able to catch him.
Darren Higgins just returns for Fred Sapati. I think that just about might be the end of the Reds replacements, and Anderson's off, I believe, for Castleford.
They run out of steam. They might need a few more blood bins. Might have to get the blood capsule out. Castleford, 35 metres out.
See, this is what they should have been doing early in the game, Warren. Just going forward and looking for a spread after that.
Good run by Sykes that time. Forward, out to Flowers. Ford tends to drift as he throws the long pass. He telegraphs it a little. Oh, lovely pass, and it's try time for Castleford. Maybe it's not all over as Jason Flowers scores the try. A lovely little pass from Danny Orr. Big Dean Sampson has the ball, but I think it was Jason Flowers who scored the try. And a neat piece of football here by Castleford.
Well, he's got plenty of pace, but also the little step off the left foot that really did break them up and flick the ball back inside there. Ever present.
Yeah, Jason Flowers it was, he finished it off.
That's a great ball there, Warren.
Yeah, beauty.
Flowers goes in for the try.
And Dean Sampson comes over, congratulates him, takes the ball off him and tries to steal the credit for the try. Yeah.
That was all brought about in the start by the good go forward. They'd worked the Reds to a side of the park and came back at them, and they created some holes up the middle. It's a simple game. If they were doing that early on, perhaps it could have been a different story.
And it is true that Danny Orr has that pace out of dummy half just to cause them a bit of trouble. He's been backing up down the middle. Graham Steadman. Big point counts. This is an important one. In fact, it hits the upright and comes back. So the gap remains 12 points. If that had gone through, 2 converted tries would have had them in the lead.
2 converted tries. We watch the replay again. He steps off his... Look at that little shimmy to the right and the off to his left, and Flowers backs up in the middle of the ruck area there. Matthew Guy had no chance whatsoever, Peter.
No, he didn't, mate. Matty Rod will put a nice tackle on the referee here too. I think he's going to knock Brian Grant over at that stage. He just got on the road.
8.5 minutes to go. It's not all over. The Reds still well and truly in the box seat. They can't afford any mistakes down this end. Fuller gives it to Higgins. Steaming ahead. Locking up the ball carefully. Now Evans. That's a good strong run by Wayne Evans. He carries them another 5 metres after hitting the line. They go to the blind with Green. He keeps them going back. Last tackle coming now. Devine gives it to Rodwell for the kick. The rebound. Plenty of Castleford players there. It's Brendan Tudor. He gives it away and there's a chance. And Critchley is going to race in for the try. So this game is alive all of a sudden. The ball rebounding from the kick. Picked up by Tudor. For a moment it looked as if he might go the distance. He realised he didn't quite have the legs, and Critchley finished it off.
Yeah, they went 2 past wide here, trying to get the ball out. This comes off one of the Castle players. I think it's Jason Liddon. And Toots thought he was there all the way, but he knew he just didn't have the pace. Give it to Critchley. Well, there was no one really going to give. It was Miller that was chasing, but he had no chance of catching the winger.
Well, all of the Reds chasers went through following this kick. So they were all going the wrong way, and there was no fullback, no winger. There's Matt Guy, the fullback, trying to turn and chase. Too late. He is fast, Critchley.
Sometimes that's the price you pay for an onside kick, especially when you're a player down, and Matty Guy was keen to get on that end of the chase and obviously was out of position for it. Critchley played at the Reds in '95, came over for a guest stint of about 8 or 9 games with Craig Innes and Brendan Tudor and Deo Powell, and he proved quite a considerable acquisition for us at that stage of the year.
When you're saying an onside kick there, Peter, you're meaning as distinct from one of the old downtowns where the players go down ahead of the kick.
Yeah, that's right, Warren. I think Matty just wanted to get a good chase on the end of that. He's probably gone too close to the line. Everybody's up on the chase, and everybody was onside behind him, no downtown.
Danny Orr hits this well, but it just swings away. That would have given them a chance of a draw. But they're out of it.
Well, yeah, Matty Rodwell really didn't get enough height in that ball. Jason Linden really ducked his head down, and it's hit him. And then Brendan Tudor going through, what all good loose forwards do, chase that ball to the death. There's no chance he was going to get to the try line. Drops it off the Critchley, and he just had too much pace for everybody.
How important is that try that was disallowed by Sampson? Or the one that he knocked down? So it's going to come into the contention now.
It would have made it very interesting if there was only 2 points in it with 6 minutes to go. It's interesting too, you're talking about that onside kick, Peter. Of course, Super League this year brought in the rule that chasers have to stay behind the mark of the play the ball, so it's restricted, I guess, the abuse of the old downtown rules where players were down 40 metres. Now you can only really be down about 10 metres, can't you?
Yeah, that's all right. It's also opened the game up, Warren. I mean, instead of having that ring of players around the fullback, at least now he's got the opportunity to come back and start an attack straight away.
Problems here for one of the Perth players. It's Evans.
Yep. Just wait for the next whistle. Tackle 4. Mike, we're on the line here.
says he's okay to continue. I think I would have milked it as long as I could. They're down a man. They're under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Fuller with a good kick out of dummy half. Narrow angle, but he finds touch.
He's had a great game today, Wayne Evans. He's been dangerous on the fringe of the rucks. His work in defence has been tremendous. He's really starting to show the potential he showed as a schoolboy.
That's a good kick there out of dummy half. Fuller slips out to his right, gets a kick over. He knew that Rob will probably have a lot of pressure on him from the Castleford players. Sapati waiting to come back into the fray.
Dummy half's one way to make sure everybody's onside, Jason. So Castleford, they've got a couple of throws left in them. They're on their own 30. Higgins has got another opinion, though. Good strong tackle on Anderson. Now here's Sampson winding up. Rodwell goes low, and that's a good tackle by Matt Rodwell. Sykes now.
Roll off him.
Taken by Devine. Come back to the right now. Stedman to Tuta. Sharp pass. Well handled by Vowles. Now Gay steps nicely. He got inside Rodwell, who was in cover. Stedman putting it up on the last tackle. Waiting there is Brady Smith. He took it well with a little bit of a protection from Evans. Good run again. He shows how he can move.
Oh, what about Brady Smith? He's having a great game out there in the centres. Oh, it's a fraction high there by Brendan Tudor.
Brady Smith really made a good 20 metres. Threatened to go right through. And with 7 tackles, they're right on the attack.
Just a fraction high the way Toots there. He's lucky that didn't hold on and connect.
Walk away. Keep walking that
There
way.
they are at each other's throats again, the players. Starting to hot up.
Higgins and Liddon this time.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks, mate.
Oh, what about the elbow?
A little bit of an elbow from Higgins. No wonder Liddon blew up. But then again, Higgins seemed to be feeling that something had been done to him in the first place.
It was another player was actually holding him down. Jason Liddon just happened to be the player that was there. He caught the elbow.
I've been around a long time and I don't take the crap that Brendan's just thrown at me. Okay? So just keep your cool. You've got more than a fair go. Put your head on and play the game.
Brendan Tudor must have said a few words. Brendan Tudor, best known in Australia for that New Zealand Test debut. 1989, the baby-faced assassin took on Australia in Christchurch. Were you playing that day?
I was playing that day.
Geez, he gave us some.
He was allowed to. It was Australia.
He fired up big time and played well. He really brought that game alive.
I forgot to tell you, he doesn't like the baby-faced assassin anymore either. So I'll tell him you said it to him anyway.
Well, it's one of those things that probably just keeps, every time he plays the game, it's probably mentioned, probably drives him crazy,
Yeah.
but certainly made his reputation with his first big international appearance. He also played for Western Suburbs in Sydney and then the Perth Reds here. He had 155 games for Featherston Rovers before joining Castleford. He doesn't like Brian Grant right at the moment. That's Sean Devine trying to push them out to a 10-point lead. 33 metres out. Again, it's the low trajectory, but it's a good kick this time. He's been on target for the most part. Sean Devine, Mark Geyer, is checking his gear. He's ready to go. He thinks they've got this in the bag, and they have. It's 24-14 with a minute and a half to go. And they've done it with 12 men in the second half, so plenty of courage.
Yeah, plenty of courage, especially from their forwards. And Evans, I thought he's played outstanding, but when the big fella Mark Geyer's come onto the field, he really has put some fear into the opposition in his tackling and in his running ability.
Next week, Perth take on Paris. So another chance for revenge. Paris beat them in England. Here's Sampson with a good charge. He's had a go, Dean Sampson. He's been stung into action. Here's Tudor. He comes back to the blind side. I thought he might have been trying to look for one of the Perth players, but no, just thought there was an opening there. Stedman puts the kick through. Chris Smith giving chase. Across comes Geyer. I don't know whether Smith's onside, but he kicks ahead and it goes dead. Tajumi was onside because it was a set play. They all knew about it. It was a good chase.
How quick is this kid, Chris Smith? Oh, he's offside by about 2 metres there. That's why he was so fast. And yeah, he gets the ball with just a nice little kick there. Kicks it too hard. It goes over.
So, strong performance by both teams to go right to the wire here. Castleford, I think, can hold their heads high after this performance. They had some scratchy moments in the first half where their kicking in particular let them down, but for the first 15 or 20 of the first half and most of the second, they've had a real dig today. And Perth will be pretty happy as well because that's another victory on the board. They've come through once again. Handshakes all around. So at full time, a victory to Perth over the Castleford Tigers. That's all from the WACA. It was 24-14.
So, Perth Reds tame the Tigers, but all credit to Castleford. They outscored their opponents in that second half, and despite scoring probably the best try of the game, they couldn't quite close the gap. We'll look back on the match after the break.
The stars of NFL have been training to reach their physical peak, to make the biggest hits so nothing can stand in their way. Now Chicago take on AFC Central champions Pittsburgh in a preseason Dublin showdown.
It's hot, man.
The Budweiser American Bowl, tonight at 6 live on Sky Sports 2.
Everyone knows the old rules of photography.
Hope that's right film for direct sunlight.
But new Kodak Gold Ultra breaks them all.
Using the same film in here.
Why not? New Kodak Gold Ultra performs brilliantly in almost all conditions.
And now, the cha-cha.
And that shot will never come out.
Of course it will. Even action shots.
Too dark.
Just remember, if this film isn't in your camera, imagine the pictures you'd miss. New Kodak Gold Ultra. Film for all conditions.
People say I'm a hard man to please. That's because I feel responsible for every single bite. A nice relaxing mud bath.
Halfords, we're nuts about bikes.
There's a side to you that craves nature and purity. A side that's sheer mullah fruit corner. And there's your sentimental side, which says Muller Crumble is the corner to cozy in with. For every side of you, there's a corner.
The Woolwich has always been known for mortgages and savings. But today's Woolwich offers you PEPs, unit trusts, and a variety of bonds as well. And now with the Woolwich, you can not only insure your house and its contents, but your car, your holiday, and even your life.
Are you with the car anywhere? No, we're with the Woolwich.
Get much more with the Woolwich.
Downtown. Let's turn it around.
Fiat dealers have 0% finance on the Fiat Brava and Fiat Bravo, Punto and Cinquecento. Call up Skytext, page 187 for more information.
So, honour in defeat for the Castleford Tigers. Perth Reds 24, Castleford 14. Tries from Devine, Mark Geyer, Matt Geyer, all in the first half for Perth. 6 goals from Sean Devine. The tries from Castleford coming from Roach, Flowers and Critchley as they outscored Perth in that second 40, and Graham Steadman kicking 1 goal. So a creditable performance from Castleford Tigers. Yet again, they produced a really gutsy display, but it wasn't quite enough to overhaul Perth Reds. We can hear now from the Tigers coach Stuart Raper, who's talking to Peter Mulholland.
Stuart, you must have been quite happy with the second half, disregarding anything in the first half.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, I said to the fellas then, I was a lot happy with, probably not our commitment. I think our commitment was good in the first half, but our discipline was a lot better. And, I was saying, we need to maintain and keep maintaining pressure by putting the sets of 6 together. And we weren't doing that in the first half. Once we started to do it in the second half, the rewards started to come our way.
Stuart, you were saying earlier to me that there's not the pressure over here at the moment. With you go back home now, it's the promotion relegation system we go back into. But surely that's given the boys a lot more confidence in the last couple of weeks being over here, playing against them and competing well against the Australian teams.
Yeah, well, I'm very happy that, we didn't get big scorelines against us. I thought today we probably could have won the game. And but, looking at some of the other results, I think, I'm glad for the fellas because they really did compete. And now we've got something to work on from when we go home, which is going to be a big job for us.
And your opinion of the World Club Challenge?
I think it probably goes on a little bit too long. I think it's a great concept, but I think I agree with everyone when they say the format's got to be changed because, it's dragged on a bit too long and the level isn't as good. But I think, I think they work on a format, it can be a great concept.
And that could be an opportunity for the sides just to see where they're up to and perhaps improve it.
Well, yeah, I think it's great for the English game because they're never going to catch up the Australian game unless they're playing against this sort of competition. And, the more we do this, the better it is going to be for the English game.
Right, Stuart. Listen, thanks very much for your time and congratulations on what you've done. It's been a great effort. Thanks, mate.
Well, it certainly has been from Castleford Tigers under Stuart Raper. They put up another battling performance today. Wasn't quite enough. Tony Ray's with us. They really have given it to the sides they've been up against in this competition, haven't they, the Tigers?
Yeah, I think we've all spoken about that the sides need to learn from it, and I think Castleford have. They've defended very well. Stewie mentions there that's been a little bit too long. Well, I guess if you're at the bottom of the table and you're no chance of being involved in the playoffs, and it would seem like a long time, but I can assure you from the sides that are very much in this World Club Championship, it hasn't been too long. It's been a fantastic series. And his side's learned a hell of a lot from this, and full credit to them. 3 tries all, 3 tries apiece. The goal kicking has been exceptional from all of the Australian sides throughout the whole series, and it's something that professionalism, I think, has added to the Australian games. They're kicking 80 and 90% regularly, the good goal kickers, and it's a big play in all the games. It really is why the scorelines are so high. There's 2 factors that have really been outstanding to me. One's the defence. The defence has been outstanding, and the kicking's been great.
It's going to have to be great from the London Broncos tonight because they've got a big game. It's what we can see next on Sky in terms of rugby league. It's London Broncos against the Brisbane Broncos from the Stoop, live and exclusive from 6 o'clock. And what a game that is going to be. And when Tony Ray leaves our studio, he'll be heading straight down to the Stoop to try and make sense of, I think, what is really quite a frantic atmosphere by the sound of things, Tony, because this is a terrific game for the Broncos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
the London Broncos.
Yeah, both Broncos. Yeah, it's a very exciting time in London. It's a game we're very much looking forward to. We're not a side looking for form. We're in good form, and that counts very much in our favour going into this game. The response to from the people of London has just been outstanding. Since we beat Canberra on Monday night, the fax has been run empty every day. The phones have been running off the hook. It's going to be a very good crowd down there tonight. It's going to be a great feel. And we put on a good show. We've had that many faxes and letters from people throughout the week that came down for the first time last Monday night and couldn't believe the entertainment, the value you get for money at a Bronco game. And we've created a real good culture amongst our supporters. They get right in behind the side, and it's pretty hard to beat us in London.
But without tonight, Sean Edwards, Steve Rosslin and Matt Dunford, all injured.
Yeah, we're going to miss them, no question. Steve Roslin's been absolutely outstanding for us and a real unsung hero for the side. But Andrew Hamilton, who will take his place, is a young guy looking for an opportunity. He's been coming from the bench continuously and just champing at the bit to get into this game, and I'm sure his enthusiasm will be outstanding for us tonight. Sean's a great big match player. He played fantastically well last week. And we got Josh White coming back. Now, Josh was player of the whole of England a month or so ago, and And Josh is very much looking forward to this game. All we can ask of Josh is to show the enthusiasm that Sean's. You couldn't put your finger on a big play from Sean Edwards. He's done nothing to say that was a game-breaking movement from him. What Sean's done is shown the enthusiasm and the character you need in a big game, and Josh just has to produce that, and we'll more than replace Sean.
Well, Brisbane without Glenn Lazarus, apparently without Alan Langer, although I think you're a bit sceptical about that one, are you?
Yeah, I think they might be playing ducks and drakes, I think, with this with Alfie. I think he came off pretty early last week to appear to be resting, and we're not going to be surprised if he comes out on the field today.
Well, can London do it?
Game on. We're going to be there, we're going to show up, and we're going to have a good crack at it.
Game on, most certainly. It's at the Stoop tonight. If you can't be there, and please make the effort to be there, because it's going to be a terrific night. We're here on Sky with it, live from 6 o'clock. But before we go, another chance to enter our competition that could take you halfway round the world. 2 return tickets to Queensland's Australia's Sunshine State on offer, plus 10 days accommodation thrown in. To win, answer this simple question. Which famous former Queensland Rugby League star was nicknamed the King? Lines are open now on 0891 555 913. That's 0891 555 913 for your answer. And they'll be open until half-time of tonight's match between London Broncos and the Brisbane Broncos. And that is going to be some match. Tony, thanks very much for being with us today. Best of luck tonight, and I think it's going to be a great night.
It's going to be a great night. No one beats us in London.
That's it from us, and Castleford Tigers put up another battling performance. Not quite enough, though, to overhaul Perth Reds, but there's a chance for some European revenge tonight. It's down to the London Broncos, who run up against the Brisbane Broncos. From us all here, goodbye.
Sky Sports coverage of the World Club Championship is in association with Foster's.